A Ukrainian serviceman fires a mortar on a front line as Russia's attack on Ukraine continues, in Zaporizhia region, Ukraine on November 16, 2022, Reuters. Russian missiles and shells hit Ukrainian positions in several regions and there was no let-up in heavy fighting in Donetsk in the east, the Ukrainian military said as Moscow's occupying forces appeared more active. As the winter's first snow fell in Kyiv, authorities said they were working to restore power nationwide after Russia earlier this week unleashed what Ukraine said was the heaviest bombardment of civilian infrastructure of the war, which began in late February when Russia invaded its neighbor. Ukraine's energy infrastructure was under persistent attack by Russian missiles and drones from the capital Kyiv in the north to Dnipro in central Ukraine and Odessa in the south, the military said in a statement. Ukrainian forces in the past 24 hours had downed 2 cruise missiles, 5 air-launched missiles and 5 Iranian-made Shahed-136 drones, it said. Reuters was unable to verify battlefield reports. About 10 million people were without power, President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a Thursday evening video address. Authorities in some places ordered forced emergency blackouts, he said. A UN agency said a serious humanitarian crisis loomed, with millions facing constant power cuts as Ukraine's typically long, cold winter begins. Pope Francis reiterated on Friday the Vatican was ready to do anything possible to mediate and put an end to the conflict. We must all be pacifists, he told Italian daily La Stampa. Wanting peace, not just a truce that may only serve to rearm. Real peace, which is the fruit of dialogue. Meanwhile, a Dutch court convicted 2 Russian men and a Ukrainian man in absentia of murder for their role in the shooting down of Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 over eastern Ukraine in 2014. Russian-backed forces and the Ukraine military have been fighting in eastern provinces since 2014, the same year Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine. Punishment for all Russian atrocities, both present and past, will be unavoidable, Zelensky wrote on Twitter in response to the court's decision. Moscow called the ruling scandalous. In Donetsk region, Russian forces have been reinforced by troops pulled from Kherson city in the south which Ukraine recaptured last week. Russian forces fired artillery on the towns of Bakhmut and nearby Soledar, among others, the Ukrainian military said. Russian fire also hit Balaklia in northeastern Kharkiv region, which Ukraine recaptured in September, and Nikopol, a city on the opposite bank of the Kakhovka Reservoir from the Zaporizhia nuclear power station, the statement said.